right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the recap. Michael D'Angelo, joined once again by my partner in crime, Mr. Big D Daryl Ortiz. We missed you last week. I know you were out for Elimination Chamber, but glad to have you back, buddy.
Yes, thank you. I was eliminated from the chamber. No, I'm just kidding,
From
but I appreciate you covering for me.
well, and so
That was interesting.
it
I
was
had a lot.
interesting. And that's where we'll start. I'm going to start here because it didn't get your reaction. And let's be fair, Raw and SmackDown, we saw so many recaps of John Cena's betrayal.
Why not? What's another recap?
I felt like we were watching Elimination Chamber again. So we got to see all the YouTubers go, no, like with their very staged reactions. So
Yeah, super staged. Like you know what my favorite part was you had the reactors, like they're sitting like this, and then they're like, no, like they're looking to make sure they're in screen. I'm like, oh my god,
make sure you're in frame. Well, and that's why I'm like, gosh, I don't want to see all like the TikTokers like doing fake reactions to John Cena's betrayal and the kids crying.
Or the one where like the parents recording their kid crying and they just casually scroll up to the happy birthday banner, and I'm like,
yeah,
what the hell?
And it's like, really, you guys were watching this on their birthday,
Maybe,
and you were recording it to see what their reaction was. Like, how would you not know? How would you know it was coming? Why would you just go, let me just record their reaction to John Cena standing there? Like it was, I don't know. The whole it's all fake to me. But
I tell you, but love that John Cena is a heel. Honestly, I think I never thought I'd see it personally. I was convinced that Dr. Thugonomics was the closest we were gonna get to a heel version of Cena.
Yeah,
but he just kind of like really dove right into it, which I really really liked. I'm not a fan of The Rock's hand gestures with the way he's doing it. It looks weird, but I think there's like a reasoning behind it. I'm pretty sure. I'm more than sure there's a reasoning behind it, but it was just a little weird for me, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. But besides that, I heard Travis Scott really freaking laid into Cody on accident, so he gave Cody a nice little shiner.
It seems like it wasn't by accident. It seems like it was on purpose. He just was like
he slapped the hell out of him.
Yeah, they didn't teach him how to. Hey, here's how to throw a worked punch. Like
it wasn't even a punch; it was a slap. He just like
smacked him. Yeah,
I'm like, ooh, that hurt. But who knows? Maybe Cody got his comeuppance. That's why we haven't seen Travis Scott in a few days. But excuse me. But yeah, no. I really liked the heel turn. I actually had liked it because it's similar to, we had talked about this through text. It was similar to how Bray was portraying him in the Firefly Funhouse match as the NWO, like the Hollywood Cena kind of thing, mocking Hollywood Hogan, or mirroring Hollywood Hogan. And so I think that's a great way to present him as a heel. I guess he figures he's on his way out. Like, why not just do it big? And another thing I mentioned too is that I felt like having face Cena and face Cody go into WrestleMania, it was going to be like a mirrored match because people may not agree with this, but their gimmicks are eerily similar. Mm-hmm. They're so similar that it'll look like it just wouldn't mesh well. And one of them had to turn heel, and I was thinking it was going to be Cody because I had it in my head that there's no way that John Cena's going to turn heel, but I was wrong. They proved it right. I was happy to see that, and I'm excited to see what they do. I'm curious as to how they're going to present Cena. Obviously, now he's going to be off screen for a little while. They're kind of just letting it marinate. They're kind of just letting it kind of soak in with everybody. They're showing a million replays of it, which is fine. I'm thinking we might see something, maybe not next week, but maybe next week because they still got to lead up to WrestleMania because WrestleMania is already coming up. But I'm really curious to see if he's going to go back to his Thugonomics theme song or if he's going to have his own new one. I'm guessing a new one. That's what I think.
It'll be a new one. I'm assuming he's not going to come out with the chain and do the Dr. Thugonomics thing.
No, I think it's going to be a different presentation. Yeah. I think it's going to be like a more modernized version. So I'm curious as to how he's going to come out. I think it'll be interesting for sure. I'm excited for it. And obviously, I think he's going to pull off being a heel extremely well.
Yeah. No, I think he'll do a good job with it. This is for me. I feel like it was improvised. And like now all the grumblings online are that they were going to do Cody and then they backed out at the last second with Cody doing a heel turn. And they just decided he's too big right now. He is the face of the company. Let's just have it be John. So that it did feel as abrupt as that. So I'm wondering if, it doesn't seem like it was well thought out. It seems like they did call an audible and just decide we got to make one of them heel. And they got cold feet with Cody and they just decided to do it. John, I worry though, because he's clearly not going to finish his run as a heel, and he's got till December. So this is going to be a very short heel run, which is going to make it feel very inauthentic because it'll be like, what, you're going to do it till WrestleMania and then have him turn face again for what, SummerSlam? Like,
No,
how fast are you gonna do this?
I feel like what we're gonna get, I feel like he's gonna take the title off of Cody. This is why his heel turn makes sense to me though. Is he wants that number 17. He kept saying, or I could do this, or I can do that, or I could do I remember that promo specifically because he was trying to find ways on how he can get number 17. And I think his first promo back is going to be something along the lines of like, look, I'm just doing what I need to do to get mine. Because he wants to get that legacy, right? He wants to cement his legacy like that. Like if he doesn't need to, but I know it's going to be part of the shtick. Now, I think that he is going to take the title off of Cody. Whether they do it, I hope they don't do interference. I think they should let him do it clean. Let him just be Super Cena. Like they always say, it's always been the gripe. Just dive into that. Let him do it. And then that's when you'll have Cody try to make the comeback or try to turn him around come SummerSlam to either take the title back, or you have him you have Cody realize what he could have had with The Rock and do like a switch and take The Rock up, and The Rock turns on Cena, and then that'll be Cena's last match, him and The Rock. What's the pay-per-view at the end of the year? Survivor Series.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of the way I would see it, like a double turn going on. Because, of course, The Rock has now painted himself as the suit that only cares about the ratings and the money and what's best for business. And Big Rock can always tell him, this is what I wanted all along. I wanted Cody because he's going to be around longer. You're old, you're washed up. And then that's how you kind of not let Cena turn face again, because then that'll seem kind of like weird. But in a way, he's like face-ish because he's like, oh, what the hell happened to me? Like, it's like one of those. So I think that'll probably be the long-term story that they have on him. But I mean, I'm curious to see how it goes. I like it. I like the call.
It's going to be interesting to see how they play it, because the other thing they said all year was he's going to have his dream matches. He's got his list of people that he wants to have final matches with, which we haven't seen yet. We've seen a Royal Rumble and we've seen the Elimination Chamber where he fought like in the larger matches. So, and now we're going to see Cody. So I'm guessing Cody's one of the dream matches that he had. But it's like they've got to find a way to position him and line him up, which it would make sense if they had him and The Rock one more time. That would make sense. And then
because they're 1-1 in their series, right?
Yeah, they're 1-1. So that's like, so where do they go at this point? So it's got to be them. I almost hope like this final match, like if you really want to do the face turn, have him do Randy Orton, because Randy Orton's hearing the voices again. He's hearing the voices.
That's a good one too. Yeah,
they're teasing him to get
the
back
Legend
to
Killer gimmick.
Yeah. So maybe that's the final thing that kind of pushes him. He turns on The Rock, and then he's still kind of in between, and then he's going up against like a full legend killer. He's like, and Randy Orton's like, you're the final legend that I'm going to come back and kill because I'm going to end your career. And you do something like that at Survivor Series. Because they sowed the seeds of that a little bit, obviously, when he was about to punt Kevin Owens and got stopped. And then he cut the promo on SmackDown and talked about he's hearing voices again and something's coming over him. So they're building back to that, which I think would be great. I want to see Randy as a heel again.
I love Randy. I love heel Randy. I really do. Face Randy's cool because he's appreciative of the fans and all that good stuff. You like seeing that, but I prefer heel Randy. Randy is an amazing heel, as is Kevin Owens. I mean, give his kudos. That man is a great heel. But yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I would like that. That would be cool. I definitely agree.
Yeah, I mean, we got the, we're heading towards WrestleMania now. So highlights from Raw, Big D. I think, I mean, this, and I'm curious about your thoughts too. We saw we'll call it world titles on, multiple title matches on both shows.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, well, off of course, CM Punk. Have to start off with CM Punk. I guess it's like a required thing here, but this time he actually cut a really good promo. He was kind of almost leaning into his pipe bomb promo, sort of, kind of pulling the curtain back, talking trash to The Rock, Cena, and then turns his eyes on Seth, and then begins the never-ending brawl, the Peter Griffin and the chicken. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the same.
It was cool until I think one time I got up to get a drink and it was a commercial break, and then they came back from break and they're like, "Oh my god, they're at it again!" I'm like, "What the hell?" I'm like, okay.
I can think of it as Peter Griffin and the chicken with that.
Yes,
it's like okay, guys, we got it. They hate each other. They're still angry. We got it.
And then the best part, like they're walking them out, and then they see each other like on opposite ends, and I'm like, who would think that's a good idea?
Yeah.
Why would you say, hey, this guy hates him, this guy hates him. Let's walk them parallel down the hall so that they can see each other at the same time.
Keep one of them in the dressing room while you walk the other one out, and then take the other. Like, this is really simple to avoid, but it doesn't make for good TV though.
Of course, this makes for better TV. So obviously, we're gonna get the grudge match at Madison Square Garden this coming Monday with between CM Punk, Seth Rollins, in a cage match. It should be a good match. I don't think this will be the end of the feud, though. I think this will carry over into like a PLE or something. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
We had Gunther give Otis a shot
I know
to
he's
face him.
going through all the members of
Yeah,
Chad Gable's
Alpha
old
Academy.
stable, Alpha Academy, and it's like he's killing time till WrestleMania.
He's just like, who can I beat up? And of course, he's tearing into them, and then Jey Uso comes out to interfere and gets choked out and put to sleep. That's that was pretty much it. It's really more just I think they're not trying to waste a lot of story too much. I think they're just kind of letting it marinate. Not marinate. I hate saying that, but they're just letting it kind of breathe a little bit. They're letting Gunther just kind of roll with the heel, that he feels he's better than everyone. Give him some victories along the way, because obviously he needs to be a dominant champion. I feel this is even more reason why Jay's going to win the title at Mania, because they're building him up for a come up. They really are.
Well, and they usually will do that where like whoever the champion is goes on a side quest while they're waiting for WrestleMania. That's usually what happens. Like there are times where they're like, "Hey, I'll see you at WrestleMania," and they disappear. Like that's what Gunther did at one point, where he was like, "I'll see you later," and then disappeared for a while. That's basically happened with Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton. It was like she took a side quest to go against Nia Jax with Trish Stratus and Nia and Candice, and now they're back to it. So it's like there's such a gap between some of these wins, especially if you win the Rumble. There's such a gap between WrestleMania.
You got to fill
it. Do it every single week. So I totally
agree.
understand why they're like, let's have him just pivot with the Alpha Academy for a little bit.
I'd rather this than them just like bantering back and forth every single week, because that would get old.
That was going to get old real fast.
Yeah,
I'm cool with this segue.
I agree. I do too. Quick match: Lyra Valkyria versus Ivy Nile for the Intercontinental Championship. Lyra wins.
Lyra won.
Yeah, that's it.
It was fine. Yeah.
Yeah, they showed a little thing of Chad Gable's quest for Lucha Libre.
What's in the box, man? What's in the box? What's in the box?
I have a theory, and it's a little out there, but
all right. Rey Fenix's mask.
It is. It's really? Rey Fenix. I think it's the Rey Fenix, because he passed by, like when he was walking, asking, "Have you seen this guy? Do you know who this is?" Like he's doing all that. Which, by the way, as hokey as it may seem to some, I really enjoy these type of little vignettes, because it reminds me of Lucha Underground.
It was
a little bit.
I got the same vibe too.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what? I kind of like that. It's actually pretty cool. It's different, I like it. It's a little different. It's a little more cinematic. I enjoy it. As hokey as some people may think, I enjoyed it. So thank you for that, WWE. But they passed by a meat market, and they kind of stood at it, and it's called Los Hermanos, and it's pretty much the brothers. So I'm thinking, because he's not in Mexico, he's in California, so you could tell. But I have a feeling that's what it's not. I don't know if it's the mask of Rey Fenix or what it is, but I have a feeling we're going to see Rey Fenix come out, because his contract's up. He's wrestling independently, and I heard a rumor that he's supposed to come back. He's supposed to debut at WWE after their run in Europe that they're doing this month. April, we should see him. So that's my guess.
That's most likely what it'll end up being. That makes perfect sense, unless like he goes in the next one, and the meat market says Los Pollos Hermanos, and you're like, wait a second, Breaking Bad, and then Bryan Cranston comes out in the Pontiac Aztek.
That'd be great.
Like, celebrity premiere for WrestleMania. I mean, it's WrestleMania season.
Hell yeah. But yeah, I mean, it could be that. It could be Aleister Black. There's been rumors that it's Aleister Black.
Yeah.
But
I think the Rey Fenix one makes more sense, though. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how this goes.
Yeah, but after that, we had Penta come out to attack Ludwig Kaiser after, because they just were feuding still between them two and Pete Dunne. So that's just going to further that feud on. I still got to see. I like that they're still finding ways to put Penta on TV. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. I think they're really high on him right now, and they should be. I think it's the right time. I think it's the right pacing. I think they're not just shoving him in everyone's face yet, so that's very good. Other random news: you had War Raiders defeating American Made. Actually, that was a really good tag team match.
It was, but why did they get another title shot after they got a disqualification loss? Like, this is where I was
just because they pissed off War Raiders. That's all.
Like this. That's where I was like, how are these guys getting another shot after they lost by DQ? Like, they should have fallen to the bottom of the pack. But it was this was a fun match. This is probably my favorite match of the night.
Yeah, it was a really good match. It was actually really good comparisons in terms of like they match each other very well. because you have Julius, who's the quicker, agile one. That's the same thing with the War Raiders with Eric, and then you have Ivar and Brutus, just the two brutes that will, that are powerful and athletic as well. It was really, really good. I enjoyed the match very much. I like the feud that they're doing. I wish they would let American Made kind of continue to be serious competitors, because in this one they were more serious than comical. I don't like them with the goofy comical stick. I like this better. I think this is where they're better suited, more focused, more in tune with what's going on in the match. They looked really sharp. They looked really good. They gave
Julius
the War
hit
Raiders
like a beautiful shooting star press that was
yeah.
freaking awesome.
Oh yeah,
Like
that was
all
Billy
the
Kidman
spots
style.
And I was like, man, shades of Brock Lesnar, except he didn't land on his head.
True.
I know Lesnar did it in OVW a bunch of times successfully, but we all just remember the time where he almost
the one time he landed on his head.
Yeah, but this match really impressed me, and I think you're right. I'd rather see them as serious, kind of dangerous competitors. Is like the fake laughing and the goofy stuff is a little much for me, but all of this was really, really good. This is the best part of the night.
I agree. After that, we had the Judgment Day ambushing. Was it LWO?
Yeah.
And Braun Breaker comes out for the save. Oh, Rey Mysterio too. Yeah, sorry, they taking out Rey Mysterio, but yeah, that was Braun Breaker coming out for some reason. Not sure.
Yeah, surprise promo between Braun and Finn, and they tried to ambush Braun. Like, it was just like, okay. So this is the one where I was like, I thought Braun Breaker and AJ Styles were going to do something.
That's what I was thinking. When I saw him come out, I was like, AJ ain't out here. Like,
yeah, and I was like, like, but why are we pivoting so quickly to now Braun versus Finn? Please don't make it a triple threat. I would rather just see Braun Breaker versus AJ Styles, but I don't know what happened here, why we're now moving on from AJ. So,
and it's funny, I can't remember who Judgment Day was ambushing. I forget. But anywho, it wasn't really a very.
It was inconsequential, really.
It was really more just to set up Braun Breaker and Finn Balor.
Yeah.
Which I heard that there are hints, and there are some, of Finn Balor returning as a Demon King, but breaking away from Judgment Day.
Yeah, that'd be cool. He's definitely breaking away from Judgment Day. Like they've been teasing them splitting up for a while now. I'd like to see Demon King Finn again. I'm a huge Finn Balor fan, and I always felt like he was relegated to like a second banana status in the Judgment Day. I'd like to see him just do singles work again.
I really would too. I mean, I think the Intercontinental title would be a good one for him. The only downside to that is that if he wins it, he'd have to lose it eventually. And I don't like that they let the Demon King lose. It's just, it's supposed to be brought up for like extenuating circumstances when he really has to. And I think that's what it should be kept at. So maybe Vince liked the pop that it got and he just made him do it over and over and over and over and over. And that's why Vince stopped it. But I'm hoping now we kind of get it in spurts and it go back to the way it should have been, like in NXT.
Yeah,
I think that's what we should do. So I wouldn't be mad at Finn taking the title off of Braun Breaker, especially as a Demon King.
Either.
I think that would actually be pretty good. So we'll have to wait and see what happens.
We'll see.
And then after that, we had the main event of the night, which was Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley. I had issues with this match. I really did. Okay, so yeah, surprise, surprise, Io Sky wins. She's a new women's champion. I'm not mad at the fact that we had a title change on Raw. I like title changes on Raw. I like title changes on SmackDown. That's how it should have been. I feel PLE should be the higher stakes. Yes, a world title is a high stake, but I'm talking about like that's where you work on your character development. That's where you work on your feuds and you build them up to that. So the title match is just an icing on the cake rather than, the only reason it's on a PLE. So I like that they're trying to do that. So yeah, Bianca Belair ringside, she's just somehow randomly appeared like a Pokemon at commentary to just, be there.
And scout out whoever her opponent's going to be at WrestleMania.
Yeah. She stole Seth Rollins' coat and she's wearing the white coat and she's there. So she's there. She's, talking, saying, I just want to see who I'm going to face. And here's where I think it's stupid. Rhea gets mad because she's cheering on Io. And it wasn't even cheering her on. It was just like, come on, Io, get up. Like, I feel like if you're an athlete, I see it the same as like if you're watching a game and you're the neutral party, you're going to be cheering on both sides and you're going to be like, hey, man, come on, get up. I know you got this. Come on. And then the other person, oh, hey, you come on. Like, that's how I saw it. And they had Rhea turn around and be like, oh, so you want Io to win because you're scared to face me?
Like, take an exception.
Yeah, she got upset and offended by it, which fine. Okay, fine. Because Rhea is like her host, like even when she was with Dom, she was like the jealous type and all that stuff. Okay, fine. But then where I got issues is Rhea goes up to do a riptide from the second rope, and she just
Yeah.
starts like talking trash to Bianca. The whole time she's just holding Io there, and I'm like, dude, she's gonna totally reverse this.
Yeah.
What
And
are
she's
you
like,
doing?
see you at WrestleMania. Like she's
And
like
she's
sitting here
still
taunting,
talking
and it's like,
trash.
yeah,
And then when she finally does it, she gets it was a Hurricane Rana,
yeah,
throws her off the ropes, and then Io Sky gets up, does the over the moonsault, and gets the victory. And then she gets up mad, and I'm like, dude, well, if you would have just shut up and done it,
yeah,
that wouldn't have happened. I get it. They're trying to make her the overconfident, and now she had to get humbled and all that. Okay, fine. But the way it was done was pretty stupid. I would have much rather, especially because Bianca was just sitting there. Like, have Bianca get up and talk trash back, like actually distract her and cause her the match. Because I think they're trying to turn it into a triple threat, which I
I
don't think
think
they
so
should do.
too.
But I
I
have a
agree. I
feeling
don't
that's
want
what's
it.
going to happen. But
Yeah.
if you wanted to do that, then you should have had Bianca, because Bianca interfered twice.
Mm-hmm.
She hit Rhea twice. And it almost seemed like Rhea was kind of doing some heelish tactics, like if she was trying to get disqualified,
Yeah.
because she kept egging Bianca on, and the ref didn't disqualify her. It was like, it's a title match. I'm not gonna, which I appreciate, obviously, because we don't have disqualifications. But it was just done a little weird, and I was not a fan of how it was done. So I'll let you. Sorry.
No, I agree. Like everything that you said is how I felt about it too. Because when I saw it, I'm like, well, this feels odd. This feels like they kind of made a decision quickly here for some reason to take the title off of her, which I don't know why. Uh, Rhea Ripley apparently is her own worst enemy, because this was her whole problem when she was going up against Liv Morgan, was underestimating her and hot dogging too much. So Rhea Ripley is, according to this, the dumbest competitor ever, because she has not learned from any of these experiences that she's had where she was being brash, she was being arrogant, she was being overconfident, she was toying with people too much. And then she lost titles, lost Dominic, and went through all this stuff. And then she's repeating all the same mistakes here against against Io Sky. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't show her any. It means she would be the most dominant women's champion in history if she wasn't an idiot. And that's what really bugged me about it.
Yeah.
And I love Io. Well, I'm thrilled that Io's
the
women's champion again, because I think she's great.
Yeah.
But this was the weird way to do it. And I agree that I feel like this is now just setting up a triple threat, which I don't like, because now it
defeats the purpose of Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, it diminishes the whole win.
That,
yeah, diminishes the win with Bianca.
Yeah.
Because now it's like, this is supposed to be her moment. She earned her title shot to go one-on-one and be in a main event at WrestleMania. That's the whole point of this. They keep talking about it. And now she's going to have to probably share that with Rhea for some reason, because Rhea has not earned that WrestleMania spot. She lost it. And if they do that, it cheapens the whole thing. So I was not happy. And I'm almost wondering, after SmackDown, I'm like, are there certain people that just don't want to do the international tour? Like, what's happening here? Because they're going next week, or unless the 17th, I think, is when they start the international tour.
No, next week. Next week in Barcelona. Yeah.
In Barcelona. Yeah, because John Cena is not scheduled to appear again until the 17th. And so that's why I was thinking the 17th. So they're starting the international leg of the tour. And I'm like, does Rhea Ripley and Shinsuke Nakamura not want to do the international leg of the tour? Because that for me was the only explanation as to why they did this, because both felt a little odd.
Yeah.
Both felt a little strange. So I was a little head scratching on that one. We'll see what they do with it. I'm not a big fan of, I think, was it Triple H? Somebody said, hey, stop criticizing the booking and just enjoy it. It's like, well, no, you don't get to do that. You don't get to book weirdly and then say, just trust us, it will be great, just enjoy it. It's like, no, we can still.
It's hard when you're doing bonehead moves like that.
Yeah, we don't like it, and that's weird. Like, you don't get to tell the consumer, shut up and like it. That's not how that goes. So this felt like, very
okay,
off
Vince.
for me. Yeah, I was like, it's like, you don't know what's good for you. It's like, nah, I'm pretty sure this was odd. So yeah, I was not happy with that. It was very strange.
Yeah. We'll see. I'm curious. Unless they do it to where Bianca does have her one-on-one at Mania with Io, and Rhea costs Bianca the title.
Yeah,
and then it's a triple threat. Technically, she got her match. Like, that would suck so bad. But
and SmackDown was kind of a copy paste of Raw in a lot of ways, because it just like Raw opened with CM Punk running down The Rock and John Cena, and then having his brawl with Seth Rollins. You had Randy Orton come down and cut a promo, slightly running down John Cena and The Rock, calling John a bottom to The Rock. And I'm like, okay, that's a little weird.
That was great. That was great.
That was a little strange. Well, like when he said it, like the crowd was like, like, should we cheer this? I don't.
They're
It was
like, did
odd.
he just really say that
Did you actually
on
say that in
USA?
today's day and age?
Like,
Those
Randy, we're
two
not
are
on
into it.
Netflix. We're
Yeah.
not on Netflix, bro.
And then he just pivoted to the Kevin Owens thing.
Yeah.
So he like moved on immediately. Kevin Owens ran him down, called him jealous. Then, as I'd mentioned before, talked about he's hearing the voices in his head again,
Yeah.
and that he's going to prove that to Pat McAfee is the second greatest punter in the WWE because he's going to punt him in the head. So I liked that because it, like I said, it's foreshadowing him getting back into the old legend killer, eventually doing like a full heel turn. At least it feels like to me.
Yep.
Yeah,
I agree. I think that's exactly what we're going to get here. This promo was awfully similar to some of his heel promos, and I like it. I'm enjoying it, and I love that there wasn't any action involved in it. It was just him cutting a really good promo, and just how he's going to go after Kevin Owens. So I'm excited. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it should be good stuff. I think they're obviously going to square off at WrestleMania. It should be fun. And then we got Chelsea Green and Piper Niven backstage with Tiffany challenging Piper Niven to a match impromptu, and that was the first match of the night was Piper Niven versus Tiffany Stratton. Solid match. Of course, she hit the prettiest moonsault, got the win. And then Charlotte Flair attacked her from behind, like hit her in the leg, and then locked in the figure eight because
the clunkiest chop block ever.
I know, it's very, very clunky. It was like, but this was more so the all right, time to redirect for WrestleMania. Tiffany's been on her side quest for a little while now. Let's get everybody focused back. Get Charlotte back in. So this did that. It's just kind of setting the table. Match was fine. And then you had right after this was Nick Aldis doing his diagram.
God, yes.
Of do you feel like everything with the tag division has been clunky? You're absolutely right. Let me draw you a diagram and try to explain everything that's happened over the last several months. And I'm like, that just goes to show you that everything that they've done with the tag titles has been very messy from a storytelling standpoint, to where Nick Aldis had to give you a play-by-play of what's happened. But
it also was just ridiculous too, which is fine. That's the whole point, is because it.
Well, it played into the ridiculousness. And basically it was like, we got a triple threat match to determine the number one contender. It was a long way to say that. Which was Motor City Machine Guns, Pretty Deadly, and Los Garza all competing against each other. Good match. It was surprising to me because Pretty Deadly won.
I know. I honestly, when I saw the intros coming out, I was like, we all know Motor City Machine Guns is going to win this. Like,
that's what I
And then Pretty Deadly one, I was like, hell yeah. Like, that's good.
Well, I'll take it. And it was a surprise. It was a surprise backslide is what it was. So it wasn't a surprise pin, but I went okay with this because they've been letting Pretty Deadly get some momentum lately. It's different. I actually like their team. I like the comedy aspect. They've been trying to portray them a little bit more as a serious threat,
like actual competitors.
Cool. Yeah. So this was kind of a neat surprise for me. It was fun. I had a good time with it.
I enjoyed it. I liked that triple threat match. All three teams did really well. I mean, they're all good teams, and I feel like Los Garzas get overlooked quite a bit. I'm always shouting out my luchadores because I love lucha libre, but at the same time, it's like, I honestly thought Motor City Machine Guns was going to come off with a victory, and I'm very happy that Pretty Deadly took it. I was actually pretty excited because they do have some good momentum going for them. They do have some good crowd support behind them.
Yeah,
we saw a little teaser of Andrade kind of talking to Berto and telling him to not let himself and all that good stuff. So we might see Berto step away from Legado.
Yeah, Legado.
I'm curious. I'm curious to see how that happens, but I mean, I feel like that team's about to be dismantled, and I think that's why they didn't take this one. But they also put in some good offense. I thoroughly enjoyed the match. I thought it was a fun triple threat tag team match. It was really cool.
Yeah, it was fun. The next segment was not fun for me, which was Bianca Belair out trying to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah. I knew it. I knew it.
Well,
I knew it.
And it was very telegraphed.
Not just that. Like, even at Chamber, when I heard Jade come out, and I was like, oh, she's gonna tear Naomi up. I said, she's gonna tear Naomi up. And then she just beelines it, and I was like, I knew it. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, yes, I knew it.
Well, and it's like we've been talking about this for months about it's Naomi. First we were like, it's Bailey, and I was like, no, it's
because who
Naomi.
benefited the most out of it, So and then she tried to channel her inner father-in-law in Rikishi instead of saying, I did it for the Rock.
I did it for the Rock. I did
it for you, Bianca.
I did it for you. Well, and this is where this was too much fake crying. Like, these two are not great actors.
It was over the top.
It was over the top fake crying.
Just let them cut promos.
Why? And they were like really going for it, but it was just not great. And then Jade stormed down and beat up.
You know what? Hold on. Shout out to her Uber driver for the best timed drop off ever.
I know she got her there right as the promo was ending, right as Bianca was
Right
storming
when
off.
she said Jade's name, Jade's music hit, the Uber pulled up, and Jade
Pull
got
up,
her right to Gorilla. And like, oh my God, best Uber. I hope
done
she tipped
and
them well
done.
because
She should
Jesus,
have
Marion Joseph.
five stars for that one, but it was that whole segment was silly. Jay did look great as she went out there and beat up Naomi.
Oh, yeah, she tore her up. And
Yeah,
then the blood splatter, like against any of the images, now we have a more aggressive, meaner Jade Cargill, which I think
yeah,
is good. I think we need
that's good.
that. I'm excited for that. I think that was the symbolism of her outfit. Because at first I was like, what is she wearing? And I was like, it's a white, like I'm looking at it now, it's a white jumpsuit and it's like blood splatter all the way down to the shoes. So I'm like,
Yeah,
that's perfect.
yeah. No, so that was a good part. The acting before that, not so much. We got Braun Strowman versus Solo Sikoa next, and then right before that, we had BFAB of all people calling out Charlotte, which
Yeah.
it was kind of like okay, continuing the side quest. So those two are going to fight next week, but it was like of all the people that's going to be like, hey, you're nobody cares about you. Charlotte's like BFAB. All right, well, cool. You
It kind of
gotta.
reminded me of Fast and Furious when they're like, you can't jump in the ring and box Ali just because you think you can box.
Yeah, well, it really was. I was like, huh, this is odd. But this is her Tozawa. So I'm like, it is what it
She
is.
needs somebody to destroy. And I
Yeah,
like BFAB. I like the way they've been
I
building her up. I
do.
think she's a great wrestler, but I'm just like,
It's like, come on, like let's be
that's
honest
who
here.
we're
I'm like,
feeding to the Charlotte machine.
yeah, and then of course Strowman versus Solo, which was good. Ended in a disqualification because Tamatanga came out.
I
And,
mean, it was all to set up. It was all.
yeah, it was just to set up the brawl afterwards. So Strowman kind of cleared out the ring, and then we got Jacob Fatu's music hitting, and he walked out seemingly, and he went after Strowman. They did the stare down, they faced off, they brawled. The big spot here was they got into the kind of upper decks going through the crowd, got on top of the production cases, and Braun Strowman chokeslammed Jacob off the production cases through the tables, which he no sold pretty much. He
Yeah.
basically no sold.
Well,
Like he
because
was
he's
down.
that's his whole shtick is that he's like another being apparently, and
Well,
he's a
yeah, like
werewolf.
he's this supernatural being because he just like he was down for like a second and then popped up and was like, "All right, peace," and then walked off. So it was wild stuff. It was cool. I don't know how I feel about like you're gonna have him no sell something like that. And it was just funny because right after that they went into the LA Knight promo and he's like, "Hey, Jacob's the guy who cost me before. Now he's been taken out." I'm like, "No, not
No,
really."
he wasn't.
He just
He's fine.
popped up and was fine. So I was like, he's like, he won't be a factor later. I'm like, not from what I saw. From what I saw, he looked totally okay. He could very well come
He
down
was
and
ready to
interfere in the
go. They're
main
probably
event.
brawling backstage right now.
Yeah. So, but it was fun. Not sure
It's
if you
all to
were.
set up Braun and Jacob, which I
Yeah.
would love to see because I think that is going to be a great match. I think Jacob has a huge rocket strapped to him, just waiting to be lit, and I think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. But yeah, it was cool. I thought it was really neat that I know it's at Solo's expense, but this was really set up for that. And
Yeah.
they even let him hit his music, the fire. That's how you know because they let him hit his music. He
Yeah.
does
It
the
wasn't like he
entrance.
just ran down. He was the person to interfere like out of nowhere. Like he got like a big introduction when he came
Yeah.
out, and the crowd
So
was going wild for him. So it
the
was
real
fun. It was
MVP
cool.
was the guy in the crowd with the Team Edward sign. I thought that was hilarious.
And then right after this one was the women's intercontinental or women's U.S. championship.
Yeah.
Excuse me, women's U.S. championship. That was a street fight for some reason.
Mhm.
Chelsea Green versus Meechin. I love Chelsea Green's tribute to Cactus Jack. That was cool. Like the outfit. Of course, she
In
has herself
Philly.
on the wanted poster, which was neat. And then she had the flannel and like it was a good look for her. I like the fact that she mixes it up and does basically like cosplay for these things. And of course, you had Meechin wearing the Eagles jersey because they were in Philly. Again, she has that affiliation, the kind of the ECW affiliation with her.
Her
So
training.
yeah, this one was a lot of fun. You had trash cans and you had chains and you had, I
Mhm.
will say there was a moment though where they set up the table and then Meechin hit eat defeat on Chelsea Green and she kind of landed on the table carefully. And then the table was totally gimmicked because it started to fall apart.
Yeah, it was already
And
falling apart.
yeah, it was like the legs are breaking. You could see it bending in the middle already. I was like, man, they gimmicked that table too much. But then Meechin basically came in and she like hit a top rope senton, put her through the table. But as she was about to pin Chelsea Green and win the title, a mystery person came out and just pulled her off and got a disqualification. So that's two matches in a row that ended with DQs. Not wild about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then attacked her. And who was it? It was Alba Fire. I was like, okay, like.
Well,
I was
because
like,
they released her partner.
they released
So
Isla Dawn, yeah.
yeah.
Isla Dawn's gone, so they had to find something for her. So Alba Fire, and then she saluted. So they're like, "Is she part of the Secret Service?"
No, it's the Secret Hervis.
Secret Harvest. That's right. Yeah, the Secret Harvest team.
Which
So
I
I
like that
guess,
she's getting a stable. I think that's really
yeah,
cool. I
that's
mean,
kind of cool.
now she has Piper Niven and Alba Fire. Like Now you need those two to win the tag titles, and then just let Chelsea mouth off about how they have all the gold. I
Or
think that
just keep recruiting because at this point the Pure Fusion Collective is no more. So
there you go.
maybe she can start pulling some other folks into that
You know
one.
what? Shayna Baszler would be a fierce addition
Yeah,
to the
she would be
Secret
great.
Service.
The Secret Service. That would be cool. So this one was fun, but I was just like, we got 2 DQs in a row. Like, I don't know how I felt about that. And then flashback to John Cena again.
Again, for
We
like
got
the
the
millionth time.
millionth time. We got the Cody Rhodes promo where he was out there and he was saying, you know, I had to tell my daughter I ran into a door. And I'm like, that's a good thing to teach a young girl that when you're a victim of domestic violence, you should tell everyone lies and say that it's because you ran into a door. Not a good role model.
My thing
Cody.
is like,
Not a
doesn't
good
she know
look.
you're a wrestler? Doesn't she know what you do?
Yeah, what happened to your face? I think she knows that he's a
Work
wrestler. I'm like,
accident, you know?
yeah, I'm like, hey man, that's what happens. But I was just like, this is kind of odd that he's like, I had to tell her I walked into a door. I'll tell her the truth one day. And I'm like, okay. And then he just told John Cena, come get some, and that was it.
Actually, it was a really good promo.
It was a
really
good promo.
It was a great promo, but yeah, nothing really much outside of that because we had no Rock, no Cena, nobody come out.
Yeah, no one walked out because Cena's not scheduled to be back till the 17th. So it was just like Cody come out here and
watch
and
John Cena come back bald.
Yeah, I know, right?
Watch him come back bald. That would be interesting.
I hope he does.
Honestly, it would be pretty cool. It would actually be pretty cool to like just like that would be the ultimate, like just because he was always about his hair, like just shave it all off.
Yeah.
And now it's like him and The Rock bald together.
Bald bros, cue balls.
Yes.
It'll be great. And then you had a filler match right after this, which was Drew McIntyre versus Jimmy Uso. And I call it filler because it just felt like, hey, we're killing time before the main event.
Yeah, we have some time.
Yeah.
Y'all kids go have fun.
And this was just, I think this is more of a way for McIntyre to get back as he got surprise defeated in the previous match. So it was like, okay.
Well, he randomly attacked Damian Priest before.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So walk in the show, he randomly attacked Damian Priest. Like at the very
I thought he was concussed.
Yeah, and then he goes in. He ends up winning here. He hits the Claymore, wins clean over Jimmy, and then Damian Priest runs down and attacks him because he turned around. He was going to go back and like do more, and then he got blindsided by Damian Priest. Those two are obviously going to face off at WrestleMania. They're going to build to it. This was all fine. It was what it was. And on that note, yeah, I was like, main event
I agree. Honestly, it was just that really was just to kill time for the main event.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Jimmy because he's turned into that, like, what can I say? He's turned into like that. I don't want to say a jobber because I feel like
he's the Brooklyn Brawler.
Yeah, I hate that, but I mean, I guess his brother's successful, so that helps. But we'll see. Yeah. I love Jimmy. I think Jimmy's great. I hope they do something more with him. I don't like the whole big Jim thing. I think it sounds stupid, but yeah, that's just me. But yeah, I like the Damian Priest McIntyre tease there. I like that. I like having them go at it.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good rivalry. I think they'll work well together and it'll be fun. Main event though, so I kind of felt like about this one in similar ways that I did to Rhea losing on Monday night. Just that it kind of for me feels a little bit out of left field how they did it. Mm-hmm. So Shinsuke Nakamura versus my man LA Knight, who I love LA Knight, and I'm happy. I'm glad that he's the U.S. champion again. I'm glad that he won. It was kind of a short match. You had the picture-in-picture. There wasn't much to it, and it
was like 12 minutes, 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was real quick.
Yeah.
You had Shinsuke trying to get DQ'd basically the whole time, which was odd. Like he's trying to incorporate weapons, and then Charles Robinson takes the chair away and rips it away from him to stop him from getting DQ'd. And then he ends up spitting the mist into Charles Robinson's face and blinding him. Then LA Knight hits the BFT on top of the chair and throws the chair out. Another rep runs down and counts.
Again, throws the chair in the direction the ref runs in from.
Yeah, it runs in from. So it was like, oh, it is what it is. And then the referee counts new U.S. champion LA Knight. And I'm like, okay, so he kind of used heel tactics to win, which with their history, I'm like, I'll give that a pass. I guess for me, it was Shinsuke Nakamura is not supposed to be afraid of LA Knight. Shinsuke Nakamura took the title off of LA Knight pretty clean without any issues at all. Why all of a sudden is he so afraid that he's trying to get DQ'd and do things so that he can ensure he doesn't lose? Like, what, Shinsuke all of a sudden lost all of his nerve and lost all of his confidence and is trying to get DQ'd in this match? Like, that didn't make a ton of sense. It felt like there was an urgency to take the title off of him again. Yeah, in a similar way that they did on Monday night with Rhea, which again, I was like, are these two just not traveling for the European leg of the tour? Like, I don't understand what I like. For me, it just kind of came out of left field and happened too quickly. But what do I know? What do you think?
I mean, I agree. I think it was really really odd because Shinsuke, the way they repackaged him, he was supposed to be like this just dominant heel that
Yeah.
is very difficult to overcome, very difficult to beat. Always was always a step ahead of you, and it looked like just like Rhea, he was intentionally trying to get DQ'd. I
Yeah.
guess they're trying to paint it as like he just wants to take him out, so that's why he grabbed the chair. Okay, fine, but multiple times, it's just like it looked like he was intentionally trying to get DQ'd so that he didn't have to end the match. I don't know what this is going to lead to. I don't know what all this is going to. I mean, LA Knight, will he turn heel? I would honestly prefer. I like everyone being heel, but no, I
Yeah.
think. I mean,
you if you
what
were
if he's
booking it,
part of?
Big D, it's heel versus heel versus heel. Yeah.
But unless I had heard a theory out there that LA Knight might be another member to the Rock's little stable there. That they're kind of doing
Really?
like a corporate Rock, like kind of like the corporate, like trying to do that again. That I mean, it's possible, but I mean, he won the title, so I don't think he needs them. So I don't know
Yeah.
how that would work. But we'll see how that pans out because I don't. I was shocked that I'm glad that LA Knight won, of course, but I was kind of shocked on how it happened. It was just like, huh,
Yeah. It
interesting.
was like,
But I mean,
Yeah, the timing seems odd to me, but we got a new U.S. champion in LA Knight, two-time U.S. champion now. Congrats to him, and congrats to Io Sky for her win too.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was Raw and SmackDown this week as we head on the road to WrestleMania. We'll see as they start the European leg of the tour, kind of what the reactions are going to be like. It'll be interesting on the 17th when we finally get to John Cena coming back and telling us why he did what he did and what kind of gimmick he's running, but we still got to wait another week for that. It feels
Yeah.
like this next week's going to be a lot of pre-taped reactions to The Rock or to The Rock and John Cena again is probably what will be, but we'll find out. And you can check us out next week and see all our reactions to it, everyone. We appreciate you joining us as always. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments, all that good stuff, because we always appreciate your support. And that's what we got this week, y'all. So I've been Michael D'Angelo. He's been Big D Daryl Ortiz. Have a wonderful week, everyone, and we'll see you soon.